right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still the Weekend Show, and this is the discussion segment. The segment I call the breakfast. This is where we feed you mentally and we educate you. Sometimes we get to entertain you. As usual, David is still here. And we are going to be talking about something that don't get to be talked about enough. Something that involves everybody. In fact, I think everybody's involved now. Almost everybody. So today we are talking about banking. Not just banking. We are talking about modern day banking, especially in Nigeria. You hear e-money, you hear e-banking. What does all this term mean? E-everything. And nowadays, we don't have like the e-cash.
Yes.
So what does all these terms mean? This is what we're going to be talking about this morning. And we have a banker in the house, and we have a special guest. He's an authority when it comes to the banking sector. And I like to call him Victor because his other name is too heavy for my mouth. So, Mr. Victor, please, can you do me the honor of introducing yourself officially?
Thanks for having me. My name is Victor Aduloju, a banker.
A banker. If you look at him, you know. Ugly people don't work in the bank. Ugly people don't work in the bank. So yes, he's a banker. David, you want to tear open this whole
you know, we've been talking about mobile banking,
Yeah.
modern day banking, digital banking.
Yes.
Banks are upgrading to ensure that they beat competition. What has it been like moving from cash? Or it's been long removed anyway, but what has it been like the experience so far?
Thanks for
Please, before you
having
answer
me.
that question, let me ask you, how long have you been in the banking sector?
For over 15 years.
Over 15 years. You had it. Go ahead.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
From what you just said, if you look at where we were coming from, at the time we joined banking, then you still see people coming to the banking with their pay slip, passbook, where you check from the ledger, how much does the customer has in his own account, probably 10,000, 20,000. As withdrawals are made from such accounts, such withdrawals are being taken against. But what we have now, we have cashless platform. You don't need to come to the banking now before your transactions are consummated. And that brings about the e-banking you just mentioned. Within the comforts of your house, you can't consummate any transaction.
But
The
finally,
limit.
I think you guys are actually cheating us, because since I can now stay in my house and do anything transaction, I keep using my money anyhow. I just go online, I see something, I just buy. I don't even think twice. So I don't understand. Are you guys, with all this e-money, do you think it's actually beneficial to us? Because nowadays, I think we now spend without thinking twice. You hear something like, they say, oh, Black Friday. You keep clicking, you keep buying, your money keep disappearing.
No.
Actually, you're not counting cash.
That has to do with your contentment on goods
It doesn't have
and your taste. No, that one doesn't have. But if you look at it, you could imagine, from what you just said, Black Friday, you could imagine those days. You need to get to the bank, make the withdrawal, still go out to the shops for payment. But now, there's no room for that. What do? Online, within the comfort of your house, what do? You go to the site, probably with your MasterCard, you pay in your code, and you get payment for your
But
goods.
still on that, the interest of your customers, there are views by people that this banking is actually, will I say, exploitative.
Oh, please, I like that. But David,
Exploitative.
please, let's not forget that this is an audience participatory program. You can call in, air your views. The numbers are right there on your screen. Call and ask your question. I know a lot of you out there have a lot of questions to ask
And
about
complaints.
banking. So this is your opportunity. Call, we have an expert in the house, and call, air your view, call, ask your questions. The numbers are right there on your screen. So,
Talking about this, what is exploitative? Yes, we could do those banking from our houses. You can buy, you can do whatever you want to do without going to the bank. But the charges at times, it seems
Yes.
When you consider what is charged,
USSST, whatever.
then you begin to say, why not go to the bank and use to reduce those kind of charges?
Thank you very much. I don't think it's excess charges if you look at it, because we have a regulator, which is CBN, and there is a benchmark for every transaction which is being consummated. You just mentioned USSD.
Just 1 minute, we have a caller. Okay. Hello?
All right. Let's take this. Okay, go on.
Okay. You just mentioned USSD, which various banks have their own code. And we have a benchmark. For you using that platform, in most times it might be 53 naira. And there's no bank. I remember when we started then, internet banking, we had a unique charge, which is 100 naira. All the banks. At the time, in the last 2 years, it was reduced back to like 53 naira for every transfer you do. So it's not really you are being charged in excess of whatever you are doing.
Okay.
But they are benchmark for every services. Okay, you could look at where we're coming from, COT. From 5 naira to 3 naira, now to 1 naira.
What's COT for the benefit of the audience?
Commission on turnover. Okay. That is for current accounts.
Yeah.
People that operate current accounts. Before now, it was 5 naira per me. That's for every 1,000 naira. You are being charged 1 naira. But in the long run, now what do we have? We have it at 1 naira.
Okay, so
now.
I want to ask, talking about internet banking, how safe is internet banking? What are some of the safety measures I, as a bank customer, should take before I start doing all this internet banking, dropping my information on the internet?
I just want to add something to a scenario. I have a friend, a woman, an old woman, who fears using alerts. She was invited by one of the old generation banks to come and collect her ATM, and she refused. Because she actually doesn't trust there's this technology. So use this opportunity to explain to us how safe is it?
Internet banking, please, because I have not started doing that. It's still scary.
Let me start with this. The difference from where we're coming from and where we are today is the technological advancements. And that has to do with the internet banking you just mentioned. If you look at internet banking...
Just 1 minute, please. Hello?
Good morning.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
What's another TV?
Please, can you reduce?
My name is Jide.
Okay, Jide, go ahead.
I hear you people saying about internet banking and everything.
Yes.
Hello, Jide, where are you calling from?
I'm coming from Agro in Anambra.
Okay,
go ahead.
So the internet banking is more safer and easy for every people now. Because when I say that you can transact everything, you not even carry money about going here and here for transaction. You cannot do it on your own, pay any comment because of the criminality in the town now.
Okay.
So it is more safer to do the transaction online than to carry money about.
Thank you very much. So your customer just called crazy.
Because your fear from what you just said, sure has to do with you not compromising your password.
Okay.
But they're still hacking.
Yes.
But then,
at
please,
every
I want
point
to
in
ask,
time,
you said not compromising your password. Anytime they will ask you your ATM details, most times they do.
But what we do, if you're at the point of issuance of ATM cards to you, if you notice, it's always encrypted. You only see about 5 digits.
Okay.
Probably you see the first 5, the next 4 to 6 are encrypted, and you now see the last 5 being given. That is to avoid issue of compromise. But from what you just said, if you look at password, your password has to be alphanumeric. You have a dot, probably a question mark, numbers. You don't just you can't just set your password with your name. And that's why you make it alphanumeric.
Oh, excuse.
Okay.
Wow. Go on.
Okay, go on.
So in that case, the platform cannot be compromised. Because when you make it alphanumeric, your password, that means for anybody to enter that password.
But we still see cases of, compromise.
Hello?
You react to that as well. Hello, good morning. Hello. Please, before you call us, lower the volume of your TV set so that there won't be hallbacks in the studio. Can you hear me? When you answer your question or take your contributions. Okay, you were saying something.
Yes. You just mentioned the issue of hacking. And that means periodically you see a pop on the platform. Probably your password remains just about 5 days before it expires. So that every point in time, even if you're using a particular system, you have to change your password.
So how does the bank manage to ensure that? Hello.
Sorry.
How the banks try to handle issues of when somebody is trying to hack into another person's account to ensure that people's money are safe?
Thank you very much. It has to do with your password. When your password are encrypted in terms of alphanumeric, periodically you change your password.
Okay.
Probably and you avoid usage of such platform on just any system.
Just
any system. Computer system.
So how would you know the kind of systems?
That is why you need to have a personal system you use, because most times when you use a system, probably a public system somewhere in a cafe, the password might have been saved on the system, and before you know what's happening, somebody logs in to that staff platform and can still access your platform.
Hello.
All right, so I want to ask a question. Most times when we use the ATM, me especially, I opt for the no receipt option because I don't really know what to do with the receipt. But then a lot of times, especially when there is a queue close in the ATM machine, I notice a lot of people keep dropping their receipts. And then I have looked at those receipts. I don't really see anything that I feel can implicate me. So the question is, do you think my account can be hacked using my ATM receipt?
In this sense, it's really advisable that one goes with his ATM or you destroy the receipt.
Okay.
Because if you look at the ATM receipt, it's really encrypted because you won't see your ATM card number fully written on it. It will still be encrypted. But for safety, and you will notice most banks, right at the ATM point, they put a trash box so that if people are done, can as well drop those receipts inside the trash bin.
Now, let me ask. There's an experience I had.
A minute. Hello.
Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning. Welcome to the show. Bye. Wow. It seems we are having serious issues with the network this morning, but I can call in and also ask questions. This topic is something that you must be part of.
Yes, talking about, do you have a question?
Yes, I had a question about my experience last week. between the bank sent me a text message and said that they won't be having normal transaction online, and told us that by 3 p.m. that day that ATMs will start working, and for between that day and through the weekend till Tuesday it wasn't working. I didn't receive my alerts as I should receive, and several other things happening. People begin to look at these issues, and say, the Nigerian banking sector, they are not yet ready for digital banking.
I must confess that we are already there in terms of the kind of services we render. Most likely, the bank was undergoing a maintenance. What's it called? Some maintenance on their
But it was
facility.
frustrating to me.
But I wouldn't know. Most time maintenance always occur probably midnight. Most times you see such alert messages that will say from 12 midnight till like about 5 a.m.
This one lasted for more than 4 days.
There must be a major problem with the bank
I
for
want
it to
to
warrant
ask,
such fraud.
you as a banker, for 15 years you've been in the banking sector. Can you tell us some of the things you think your customers practice that expose their accounts to being hacked?
Thank you very much.
Some of the popular ones.
Yes. I'm going to start from the ATM.
ATM.
I can remember when we first started issuance of ATM cards. Then it was just the normal VEP cards. I remember then it was a big issue. You see a scenario where someone will tell you, where's my card is with me, but I don't know. My money has been taken.
Okay.
Why? Probably the person collected the ATM card, kept the password, the default password inside the ATM. Somebody lays his hand on it. The person comes to the bank, to any ATM, withdraws the money. But what do you do? And that is why at this stage now, what do? By the time ATM cards are issued, we ensure you need to change your password, the default password, so that you have a unique password at that period. In that case, and periodically, you can as well change your password for the ATM. In terms of internet banking, just like what you said, that you've not been able to start, but you really need to, because it's very safe, very fast. You don't need to come to the bank.
Just 1 minute.
Hello. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yeah, Carlo.
You are?
Carlo.
Okay, Carlo, raise your voice so that it seems you just woke up from sleep.
Carlo, from where? Where are you calling
Okay.
us from? Okay.
Go on. Go on.
Yeah, I want to comment on what you said this morning. Sometimes they think like you that your ATM has been blocked. That is what they forward. So I want to ask, is it possible for them to collect money from your account?
Without using your ATM?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the question I
They
wanted.
ask you to call the serial number.
Okay. Is it possible to withdraw? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so Carlo, he will answer your question. Just to
Thank you, Mr. Kalu. You've sent such messages on your phone where you receive a bank will not actually send that please disclose your password, that there's a rectification from a bank. By doing that, the person will just go online, or someone will tell you to give them your code, the numbers on your ATM, your MasterCard, or whatever. And the person goes online, use your card, your ATM card number to purchase anything online.
Okay, so
And that is why you avoid such messages. When you see such messages, you delete such messages.
Is there no way to track such purchases? Like, I reside in Oka, and so far my IP address online shows that I do most of my browsing and transactions from Oka. And somebody
in Lagos.
in Lagos or Kaduna now tries to do that. Is there any way to track such purchases to
thank
get
you
back
very
to
much.
get to the person?
What we've been able to develop, the technology, if you look at internet banking, for every stage, we have questions. You might pick questions like, which are security issues? Unlike then, that someone can just say, okay, you have account A in this bank, A, and the person has been able to see your password or has been able to compromise your password.
So you were telling us some of the mistakes. Can you briefly just mention some? Because I think the listener at home will want to know. Like, briefly mention some of the mistakes we make as customers that exposes us to fraud.
Like I said, I've mentioned the issue of the password compromise, where you put your card. But what have we done with regards to that? We ensure that the default password is being changed.
Okay.
Is being changed. Before now, someone will collect their ATM card, put the password and the card together, get them, keep it somewhere. Any of their words, we pick it up, use the card, and the person will tell you, since the day I collected this card, I've not used it, and somebody has been using it to withdraw money. That's on the part. Another check we've been able to do that is, you have SMS alert, AT alert, transaction alert on your account. At least you should be able to receive messages to monitor what's happening in your account. That is another check you've seen. And like I mentioned, internet banking, also there are security questions which you can opt for, in sense that you can be asked, what is your mother's maiden name? What is your best food? Your best meal? In that case, it's personal.
Okay.
You have such questions coming up, pops up, before accessing your internet banking.
Okay.
And then it means these are unique questions and answers you can definitely provide.
Okay.
Okay.
In that case, that forms a security level before anybody. So if somebody even has the password to your internet banking, such security questions
You can't
are to
answer
checkmate hacking into your
Okay, so
internet
let me
banking.
ask now, if I have a problem with my bank and I think their services is not satisfactory, and I've tried reporting to the customer service, made all the calls, and I'm not yet satisfied. Is there any regulatory body where I, as the customer, can easily have access to report my bank?
Thank you very much. We have CBN.
How do
That
I,
one
as
is
a
very
customer,
CBN,
reach
no,
CBN?
it's not. We've seen cases like that where you see customer writing to CBN.
It's possible.
Yes, possibly. They have customer service too that handles complaints from customers of banks.
Please, can you help us now? Can you help us tell the viewers some of the platforms through which they can reach CBN?
But before you do that, basic things that are being done, you need to understand that for every of the banks, they have a customer service.
Oh, okay.
You need to have use the platform like calling,
Customer service.
doing email to them. By the time you've sent an email to them, but if it's not working, you can escalate. Because I've seen a situation where someone complained about excess deduction in his account. He wrote to the bank didn't do anything. He wrote through CBN, he wrote to CBN. And where do you write? CBN has customer complaint unit too. In that case, he wrote, got a response from CBN, and within some few months, the bank reversed the charges.
Okay, so your last word. Now, from the angle of a banking expert.
Yes. I must confess that technology has really helped. We have what we call USSD today now. Probably star 855, whatever, it depends on your bank. In the comfort of your home, you buy your airtime, you do your transfer. A lot of things can be done, and in this case, our banking are being discongested. We don't have it crowded anymore. It saves cost of you driving to the bank
All right.
to have something.
So
to
it's
do.
a two-way thing. It's favoring everybody. Thank you very much. David, you have a last one?
Yes, my last word is to urge our audience, if you didn't meet up when we started, you can go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, and you will see these videos, and then make comments, ask questions that we can also answer for you if necessary. That's a very big one from Victor Adeboju for joining us this morning.
Thank you
my
very
pleasure.
much for
Thank
making
you.
our time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so you're still watching Weekend Show. Don't go anywhere because Weekend Show continues with the breakfast news.